What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. We got some major things to talk about, so let's jump right in. Okay, first of all, Visa and MasterCard have now suspended all operations in Russia effective immediately. The companies say they felt compelled to act. This is yet another major step because now no companies worldwide can process any transactions, including Russian companies or any global companies, can no longer do business in Russia with credit cards, Visa or MasterCard. This is a major sanction on Russia. And it's yet another sanction on Russian banks and even the Russian people as well, because any bank cards, credit cards, or debit cards that have been issued by Russian banks that are Visa or MasterCards will no longer work either, even outside of Russia. So any bank cards that are issued, whether they're debit cards or credit cards, even debit cards or MasterCard or Visa, they'll no longer work. They're literally just shut off from the processors. Remember, they have to go through the processing. And Visa MasterCard says no more. No more. And think about, I mean, first of all internet transactions are done, I mean, I don't know what, 90 some percent of them are done through Visa MasterCard. I guess there's maybe some other that are done through PayPal, some other type of transactions. Very few. Even those are probably getting shut off as well. But you got to really think about the Russian economy is just collapsing by the day. Honestly, it could literally collapse. The Russian economy could literally collapse. Here's a headline from 6 days ago. Russia's ruble falls to 117 per US dollar, which means it's less than 1 cent. It has declined 41%. This was as of 6 days ago. It has fallen even further since then, just to give you guys an idea. And not only that, but their stock market has just collapsed as well, and they won't even open their stock market. Yeah, get this. Russia has kept their stock market closed in their longest shutdown, and it's going to continue closed until March 9th, maybe even longer. Russian stocks listed in London erased more than 90% of their value before being suspended. Yeah, talk about a collapse. Yeah. And you see headlines here like this: "We can't sell our Russian stocks." Quote from Russian companies are being erased from stock indexes as Putin's Ukraine invasion makes them uninvestable. So Russia's dollar, the ruble's collapsing. Their stock market is collapsing. Their companies are collapsing. Their people are revolting against them, against Putin. Companies are pulling out of Russia. Major oil companies, BP, Chevron, Exxon, are pulling out. Shell are pulling out of Russia. They're literally losing billions of dollars just so they can say that they're not doing business with Russia anymore. And now countries like the United States and even Europe are considering saying, it's so bad that we're considering we don't even want to buy Russian oil anymore. And you got to really think, first of all, Putin did not expect this. He did not expect this. When they took over Crimea back in 2014, it wasn't like this. They took it over, and the world was, upset, and they slapped some sanctions on them. But at the end of the day, Russia got away with it. It was nothing like it is this time. And also, Putin probably expected for Ukraine to just kind of give up, just kind of lay down their arms, probably similar to what happened in Afghanistan when the Taliban kind of took over Afghanistan, just kind of laid down their arms. Not so with Ukraine. And here we are. And you got to kind of think that Russia could probably take over Ukraine eventually. I mean, they have them outnumbered severely. Ukraine could hold them off for a long time. It's still yet to be determined. I mean, the resilience of the Ukrainian people is nothing short of amazing at this point. And they're getting more and more help and support by the day from countries everywhere. Even if Russia and Putin does eventually win Ukraine, is it even going to be a win for them? Is their economy going to collapse? Is the world going to revolt against them? And if they do win, is it even going to be a win for them? Are they going to be able to even hold Ukraine? That's kind of the next step, is that if they win, is their country going to go bankrupt in the meantime? And then what? If they take over Ukraine, Ukraine still has 40 some million people. Now 1.5 million people ish have left, mostly women and children, but there's still 40 some million people in Ukraine that are going to be revolting against them every day. And Russia's not going to have enough military there to hold it. And a lot of the Russian military doesn't even want to be there holding it, when a lot of the people in Ukraine are the same people. Russians, Ukraine, they're pretty much the same people. So, even a lot of Russians that have kind of been captured are saying they don't even know what they're doing there. They've been lied to. They've been told that they're there for exercises. They don't know what they're doing there. They don't even want to be fighting this war. So even if they do actually take over Kyiv, how are they going to hold it? There's millions of Ukrainians there, and they surely don't have millions of Russians that are going to be able to stay there for an extended period of time. So I don't even know if Russia can win this thing long term, right? Maybe short term, they might be able to take over something. Maybe. I mean, the resilience of the Ukrainian people is just astounding at this point. But what's the exit plan for Putin? Now, first of all, I think he got in way over his head. I think he thought that this was going to be a much, much easier win for him than it was. And now he's just knee deep in it. But what's the exit strategy? If he pulls out and says, I can't win, he looks like a failure to the whole world, a laughing stock to the whole world. So what does he do? Not that we care, right? We want him to stop. But yeah, and meanwhile, we have to avert a nuclear crisis, nuclear bombs, and also nuclear, like they're taking over more and more nuclear power plants. Why does Russia keep seizing these nuclear power plants? It actually is really, really scary and kind of sinister. Like, are they going to set off a explosion, Chernobyl style? Are they going to shut off the power on Ukraine? What do they plan on doing with these nuclear power plants? Like, why did they go after Chernobyl first? It's an abandoned site. It's really kind of eerily strange that they're purposely going after these, and Chernobyl, which is, again, it's abandoned. So why would that be one of your first targets, an abandoned, nuclear wasteland. Like, what's their intentions here? And the problem is with Putin is anything's possible, right? He's literally the definition of a loose cannon. I know some people think that, oh, he puts on that persona, but like, I mean, gosh, if anybody's the definition of a loose cannon, right? It's got to be him, right? Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Meanwhile, this is affecting all of us here at home because the price of oil and the price of gas are literally just skyrocketing, costing all of us here more money. The stock market is just wavering, costing us more money if you have money in the market, which over 50% of people do through IRAs, pensions, retirement funds, or just regular market money in the market. And the gas and oil is really just going to cause inflation to go up even higher. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but officially, for maybe the first time ever, or the first time in a long, long time, the national average of gas here in the United States has reached $4 a gallon for regular. This is according to AAA. Unbelievable. It's literally gone up by almost 10 cents per day. 8 cents yesterday. It was like 10 cents the day before, 11 cents the day before that. Look at this. A week ago, it was $3.60. It's gone up 40 cents in 1 week. 40 cents in 1 week. There's literally nobody else to blame but Putin and Russia. A month ago, it was $3.43, which is, what is that, 56 cents. Wow. 56 cents gas has gone up in 1 month. Wow. And look at the price of diesel here, $4.52 on average. A month ago, I know I might be in the corner here. A month ago, it was $3.80. $3.80, and now it's $4.52. So that's an increase of 72 cents. And remember, the diesel is what the truckers use, the semis use, and that is what ships all of our products. It's what ships your food to the store. It's what ships your goods to the store. Anything you buy on the shelf is shipped by diesel. Even if it's made here in the USA, it has to be shipped by a truck. So the price of diesel has gone up 72 cents in 1 month. 1 month. Now, we also can look at what the price was a year ago. But remember, a year ago, these are a little bit skewed because we were coming off the lows of the pandemic. I mean, 276 is abnormally low. I mean, I think we all can agree that that's not a normal price for gas. I mean, and when we go back even further into the pandemic, we were down like near around $2 a gallon. That's not quite normal for what we normally pay in the U.S. And I get the whole Trump versus Biden gas argument. I get it. Again, I don't tend to lean towards either side. But we do gotta all kind of admit when the country shut down, gas prices plummeted. That's the whole supply and demand thing. Again, that happened all across the world as well. But this is why we can see just literally in a month, again, you can just see it's just all because of Russia. I mean, what has happened in the last month but the Russia war? I mean, you can just see that there's nothing else that's happened in the last month but the Russian war crisis. Russia, Ukraine, last 4 weeks, it's literally all the news. It's just crazy. So, yeah, and the problem here is that this is really affecting us, Americans. So, yeah, I mean, Now, granted, it's not nearly as bad as what's going on for Ukraine. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them as well. Um, but you know, it's also affecting us here. Um, so we're talking about everything here. It's affecting everybody. It's affecting Americans here as well, because especially people on low income. People that make low income that were already struggling to get by. Now, when gas is an extra 50 cents per gallon, and that's just one thing, diesel is an extra 70 cents per gallon. And if you don't buy diesel, I get it, because if you don't have a diesel truck, I get it. But the problem is that goes directly into everything you buy. When you go to buy milk, you go to buy eggs, you go to buy cereal, you go to buy any type of food, guess how that got to the store? A diesel semi truck. You go to buy diapers, you go to buy clothing, you go to buy shoes. Guess how they got to this Walmart? A diesel truck. And even if these things come from overseas, which, remember, if you go to Walmart, if you ever got a few minutes of time, go to Walmart or go to your local store, a Burlington, a CVS, any type of store. It'll be a good little exercise for you here. So remember, the majority of our food made here in the U.S., because it's not like they're shipping milk from overseas, right? They're not shipping eggs from overseas. Crackers, not really coming from overseas. But a lot of the goods on your store, plastic stuff, a broom, a mop, pair of shoes, sunglasses, anything like that. A lot of that stuff comes from overseas. It'll be a good little exercise for you to just kind of go down the aisle of Walmart and just kind of, when you got a few minutes, whether it's Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, any store, they're all the same. It's not that one store is picking more things from overseas or not, but just go down the aisle and just take 20 products all at random, turn it around and see where it's made. You're going to see the vast majority of products are not made in the US when they're not food products. And this isn't because people don't want to buy products in the US. I know this because I have a business where I sell products on Amazon. It's simply because of pricing. And I'll tell you this because, when I sell products on Amazon, and I teach people to sell products on Amazon, it's basic economics. It's basic price 101. When you go to try to buy something made in the US, it's just a lot more money. It's just a lot more money. It's just the way it is. Yeah. And honestly, truth be told, it's actually a lot harder to find a lot of things made in the U.S. If you want to go buy a bucket, I'm looking at a kid's bucket here, Julian's bucket. If you want to go buy a bucket, you can go on websites where you can find manufacturers from around the world that already make buckets really, really easily. You want to try to find a place from the US that makes buckets, it's actually just way harder to find companies in the US that make buckets or mops or anything like that, where you can private label it and call it your own brand. Because the US just really doesn't have a lot of companies that do that. Because a lot of entrepreneurs have already learned that the US is just way more money for that type of stuff. So the problem here is that if a bucket, and I'm just using a bucket as an example, it could just literally be anything, right? It could be a chair, it could be a couch, it could be a light bulb, it could be anything, right? Here's the problem, right? Is that if a light bulb cost $2 to get it made from any other country, China, Taiwan, anywhere, right? But if it costs $4 to get made in the US for every single item, where do you think the companies are going to get it made? It's just that it's economics, right? So some people try to choose made in America, but the problem is when you choose made in America, you have to charge more. And the problem is that when you go down the aisle and you're looking at light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, and you see, now remember, if somebody says it's $2, okay, and then you have to make a profit, the store has to make a profit. So ultimately, if it costs $2 to make it, and then you got to make a profit of $1, the store has to make a profit of $1, and let's just say it ultimately sells for $5, okay? So here's the $5 light bulb, and again, I'm just making up numbers here, so the math might not ultimately add up, right? But I'm just kind of using this as an example. But let's just say this light bulb's $5. $5, $5, $5. But here's the Made in America one. That one's going to have to be like $10 because again, it started off as 4. They got to make a profit. The store's got to make a profit. It's all based on percentages, right? Or let's just say it's $8 or $9. Are you going to pay $9 for that? Let's just say it's not a light bulb because I know we're getting expensive for a light bulb here. Let's just say it's something for your kitchen or something, right? Are you going to pay almost twice as much? Because remember, it was a $2 item to buy and a $4 item to buy. Are you going to pay twice as much for that item? And it's just basically the same item. And you're looking at them on the shelves. And the only real difference is on the back of the box. One says made in China and one says made in the USA. And if you don't look at the back of the box, you might not even know if it says made in China or made in the USA. And that's why I kind of tell you, go down the aisle and look at the boxes and see where do they say made in the USA, made in China, because honestly, you probably don't even know. Now, when you walk down the aisle and you're looking at prices, how often do you buy the most expensive item? If you're saying never or very rarely, keep that in mind. Because remember, they're pushing for $15 an hour minimum wage here. We just had a story where they're producing computer chips. But honestly, some things have to be produced in America. Medicine, food. They can't produce milk overseas. And honestly, it is a good thing to do that here in the U.S. because as they produce more and more things in the U.S., they don't have to ship them. We're not reliant on other countries. And as they produce more and more things in the U.S., the cost will come down. The cost will come down. So they're going to start with like expensive things, not like little cheap things like buckets and stuff where they make those things for so cheap over there, right? They're going to start with things like semiconductors. And well, first of all, medicines are mandated. They have to be made. Well, not necessarily, but they're going to start with things that are important to be made over here, not like really cheap buckets and mops and stuff. Okay, but all these things are kind of going to inflation here, right? And that's kind of the little bit of an issue with Made in America is that our labor is just much, much more expensive than other countries. It also has to do with the price of our dollar. A dollar is worth a lot more than a Russian ruble or a Chinese yen. All that is factored in. So just all this stuff is a little bit of stuff to think about. But yeah, next time you get a moment and you're in the store, go look and see what is made in the USA, what is made in China or made. Everybody said, "Oh, buy USA," but you'd be surprised how many things are not made in the USA. And it's not that people don't want to buy USA; it's just that it costs more. But this is something that they're trying to figure out on how to make more things in the USA. The problem is when they make things more in the USA, they cost more, and that will make inflation go up higher. So it's not an easy thing to figure out. It's something they're going to try to figure out over the course of this next year or two. And this next stimulus package called potentially Made in America actually might spend money from the Fed, from the our country to help figure this problem out. They might spend logistics money, infrastructure money to actually help reduce the cost of doing this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts here. I will keep you up to date. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to subscribe. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And you can click here to see how there is some inflation relief checks that are starting to go out, and potentially we might see more of those. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.